What's up guys, today we're going to talk about 10 tips for plein air painting, and I'm getting a little help from my friend Tez, who's an awesome plein air painter. Tez, introduce yourself.
G'day, I'm Tez Dower. What I do each week is I come out and I paint plein air, beautiful scenes like this here in Australia. I live in New South Wales, which is a state in Australia, and I've been painting for a few years, but only been painting a couple of years doing plein air. So just, if you want to check me out, check out Plein Air Adventures with Tez Dower, and see you then. We've taken stuff out to paint. I found keep it simple, less is more. So just take, instead of taking a whole heap of brushes, just take 3 or 4 brushes. Just take one canvas along, and your bottle of Terps or Liquin or whatever you use. Keep it simple, keep it in a little bag so it's light to carry. And if you've got a plein air art box, like a French box or something, just try and keep it light as much as you can, because sometimes you could be walking quite a bit. So keep it simple, that's my tip.
I totally agree. One way that you can keep it simple is by painting small. Today I'm just going to paint on this 8x10 canvas board. By keeping it small, it kind of helps you focus in on what's important and not get too bogged down in the details, and hopefully it won't take too long.
Every artist is different, but I found setting up in the shade is best for me. 1, you're not going to get sunburnt, and 2, you haven't got the sun shining on your white board, which is putting glare back in your face, and it can get very difficult. So each to their own, but I found set up in the shade.
Another tip is to not be too picky about your subject. Most of the things that I paint are within a few miles of my house. It was like that for a lot of the Impressionists, so I figure if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Really, you can find beauty all around you. I like these trees, for instance. Another good tip is to, when you've started your painting, is to know where the sun is in your painting. As you can see in my scene here behind me, my sun is on the left side. So when I work the paintings and the shadows and all that, always remember that, where your sun is in the painting. There's really hundreds of tubes of colors that they make, but I personally think one tip that's really useful is to start with just the primaries. Pick a red, a yellow, and a blue, maybe white and burnt umber, and you'll be set. You'll get a lot of color harmony in your paintings that way, and you'll be good to go. Another tip that I have here is I pre-mix my paints. As you can see, I pre-mix my paints here. I've got my sky, my mountain, and my green, and what I do is I either make it lighter or darker as I go. But I've got the foundation colours in with pre-mixing paints. That's a great tip when you're starting out doing plein air. I just finished this sketch in about 5 minutes. Plan on simplifying everything into big shapes, big masses. Don't focus on the details too soon. Simplify, simplify, simplify. It'll help you get the main impression across and not get distracted early on by the details. If you're enjoying these tips, please hit the like button and subscribe down below, and stick around for the rest of the tips coming up right now. So Tez, tell everybody what your channel's about. So what my plein air channel is about getting out and painting beautiful scenes like this here behind me, and most of all, just having fun and improving as an artist. They say that one painting, plein air, is equivalent to 10 in the studio. So get your gear and get out and have a go. Happy painting. What's your favorite thing about plein air? Well, you come across all sorts of things when you're out painting plein air. Like I've been painting plein air and there's been cows coming across the road in front of me. There's been kangaroos hopping by. I've had many experiences like that. You always get people stopping and checking you out and taking out photos. Sometimes you feel like a bit of a rock star at times, and people are coming up and asking questions and all that. But most of all, what I like about coming out and painting plein air is getting out in nature and having that wind on your face and hopefully producing a good painting. Another great plein air tip is get up early and chase the light, or paint at the end of the day. I found if you chase the light and you're painting the early morning light, it's so bright. Or the late light at the end of the day, the shadows are so strong. That's a great way of improving as an artist and doing plein air, is chase the light. So one thing that's super important is to plan ahead. Plan ahead where you're gonna go, get a list of places where you think, oh, I'd like to paint there. And then also plan ahead about the time of day. A lot of times, like he was talking about chasing the light, sometimes I don't plan ahead, and kind of like what happened today, it starts to get dark on me because I run out of sunlight. So if you can plan ahead and schedule it and think, okay, I'm gonna go look at what time the sun sets, look at what time the sun rises, and think about what time would be good to go out and paint, you'll be set. So on my channel, I talk a lot about my story about how I got into art and painting, how I'm kind of self-taught and only been doing it for the past couple years, trying to just learn every day. But Tez, I'm really interested in you. How did you get into plein air painting?
About 17 years ago, my cousin come over with a canvas, my cousin Garth, and he said, Tez, have a go at painting. I said I couldn't paint to save myself. But he said, just have a go. And I had a go, and I got the bug, and I just continued to search and find more about plein air painting, about artists in Australia and America and all over the world. And that's how my artistic journey started. But I was a studio painter for a long time, probably 15, 16 years or so. And the last couple of years I've been out doing plein air. So I really love it, and it's become my life.
That's awesome. So if somebody wanted to start plein air painting but they didn't know where to start, what advice would you give them?
My advice to someone starting out plein air is don't get overwhelmed with the subject, and don't try to paint like what you would think like a photo. What you need to do is just relax and find a subject and keep it simple. Don't put too much information in, and most of all, just get out and have fun.
Man, it actually got stormy. It's like windy, probably like 20 degrees cooler than what I was when I started, but I'm glad I went for it. It actually kind of forced me to paint fast, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Hopefully these tips were useful to you guys. If anybody watching this, if you've got more tips that you'd like to add, leave it down in the comments. And anybody who's looking for tips, scroll down in the comments, because I know a lot of my subscribers are painters and probably have some good tips to add as well. Tez, thank you so much for helping me with this video. Guys, make sure to go over to Tez's channel and subscribe to him. He's incredible what he's doing. His work is awesome. Check him out. I'll leave the link down to subscribe to him down below. Thanks again, Tez.
Thank you, Danny. It was a pleasure for being part of your channel, and I hope the plein air tips can help everyone in their endeavours as an artist. So anyway, thank you very much. See ya.
Please subscribe to my channel in addition to Tez to see more videos like this. Check out my latest video where I painted the album artwork to my new album, Montana, which you can stream on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places. I'll leave a link down below. You can also check out this playlist of more artwork here. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to buy this piece or commission me to do artwork, you can message me there. I'd be happy to do that for you. Remember, guys, you have a voice that matters. Go be creative. I'll see you next time.